We talk about the Los Angeles Dodgers as the modern baseball dynasty, a machine of perfect optimization and relentless strategy. But what happens when that machine chews up and spits out one of its most promising new parts? We watched Kim Hye-seong burst onto the scene with electrifying speed and raw potential, only to vanish into the shadows of the bench by September.
Was this calculated neglect, or did the relentless pressure of a championship chase force the organization to make a cold, almost cruel decision that betrayed their faith in his future? Welcome to 603 Snap News, where we dive deep into the cold calculus of Major League Baseball. Today, we're dissecting the brutal reality of the Dodgers' depth chart and the steep price rookies pay when the only acceptable outcome is hoisting the commissioner's trophy. Before the season even started, the buzz around Kim Hye-seong was immense, perhaps unfairly comparing him side by side with the towering expectations placed upon his contemporary, Sasaki Roki. While Sasaki captured the spotlight, many veteran scouts, seeing Kim's defensive metrics and raw speed, quietly rated him higher as a pure Rookie of the Year candidate.
But the major leagues, especially the Dodgers, do not reward potential. They demand immediate, seamless integration into a winning operation. Kim finished the year with 180 plate appearances, a respectable .280 average, and a .314 on-base percentage. These numbers on a rebuilding team would scream future star. On the Dodgers, however, the magnifying glass focused ruthlessly on the negative. His slugging percentage settled at a meager .385, and his strikeout rate ballooned to a shocking 30.6%, indicating a significant struggle to adjust to major league breaking pitches. This gap, this inability to consistently produce extra base hits in a lineup featuring giants like Shohei Ohtani, was the first nail in the coffin. This is where the narrative turns dark, and the American media begins to ask uncomfortable questions. Brand Kincaid, a seasoned reporter for Dodgers Way, didn't mince words, arguing that the team's late-season treatment of Kim was a strategic mistake. The Dodgers didn't just sideline him, they strategically betrayed the developmental promise. By the late season, they treated him like a broken spare part, not a future cornerstone. If they genuinely want to commit to him as a full-time second baseman in 2025, they need to rectify that trust they shattered this year.
It's an incredibly sharp critique, suggesting that the team prioritized short-term tactical substitutions over long-term player psychology. The common fan counter-argument is simple and unforgiving. He had his chances, he just didn't produce. Sasaki was given a high-leverage closer role and immediately cemented it. Kim failed to secure his starting spot. But this argument fundamentally misunderstands the difference in their roles and the corresponding pressure.
Sasaki's job was singular: strike people out in the ninth inning. Kim's job, as an infielder in a rotational hellscape, was multifaceted and inconsistent. He was fighting for playing time in an infield that was constantly shifting due to injuries, leading to the early surge in his appearances, followed by a swift and brutal decline when the veterans returned. We must reflect on Kim's own assessment, which was heartbreakingly honest. He gave himself a 30 out of 100 score, stating, "I don't know why, but I wasn't satisfied. I need to grow. To fill the remaining 70 points, I must improve in every single aspect." This shows a player keenly aware of his shortcomings, yet perhaps overwhelmed by the sheer scale of improvement required. The crisis of Kim Hye-seong's season climaxed not with his bat, but with his feet. His speed is elite, the kind that changes games, the kind that coaches crave in the lead-off or 9 spot. Yet he made critical mistakes on the base paths that were unforgivable in a championship environment. We saw him consistently sliding head-first into second base during stolen base attempts, a dangerous habit that significantly increases injury risk, but more critically, costs precious milliseconds. As former MLB base-running coach Sato analyzed, when he slides head-first, he delays his decision-making for the next base. A catcher's errant throw might create a chance for third, but Kim is still dusting himself off, while a faster feet-first slider would already be halfway there. That's not just Kim's mistake. That's a failure of the developmental coaching staff to enforce winning fundamentals. His overall defensive game, initially lauded, also fractured.
While he flashed brilliance, his early season outfield attempts were riddled with inexcusable errors, and his infield defense lacked the necessary stability the Dodgers command. The front office realized they had a phenomenal situational weapon, a defensive replacement and pinch runner, but not a complete everyday player. This realization, arriving in August, led to the cold, hard twist. Kim's usage was tailored, limiting him to 180 plate appearances, not because he was completely ineffective, but because the risk of his high strikeout rate and base running errors in the clutch moments of a pennant race was deemed too high. They effectively put him on pause.
He became the designated break glass in case of emergency player, proven by his inclusion on the postseason roster, a testament to his utility, if not his starting role potential. To demand Ichiro-level consistency from a rookie is unfair, but the Dodgers are an unfair organization in the best way possible. They are built to win now, meaning every player must justify their existence immediately. Kim Hye-seong was given 180 chances, a substantial evaluation period.
The reality is that the Dodgers, looking ahead to massive contract obligations and needing to perfectly allocate their finite talent resources, chose to protect his future rather than expose him to further confidence-shattering failures in high-leverage situations this year. They know the talent is there. They simply calculated that the final 70 points Kim seeks are best earned in the offseason, away from the unforgiving glare of the World Series hunt.
This wasn't a story of failure, but a story of brutal selection pressure. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you think the Dodgers will commit to Kim Hye-seong as their everyday second baseman next year? Or will they chase another superstar veteran? Drop your predictions in the comments below. If you felt the heat of this discussion, make sure to hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to 603 Snap News for more unfiltered analysis of the game's biggest dramas.